Hi, in this short tutorial we're going to take a look at a website called Quizlet. As you can see, the address is quizlet.com. Create an account in the normal way, and once you've done so you should see a dashboard similar to this. Okay, your username is in the upper right hand corner, and this is where you can either log out, get to your settings, find help. And they do have an upgrade option with additional features, but we're going to right now look at the basic option. Now you can use this as a teacher, but this is a good site also to show your students because they can use it independently as an aid to their studying. Okay, let's take a look. The first link gives you your latest activity, and you can just see that I've done something here today with 3 terms. You'll learn more about that later. There are things called study sets, and this is my first study set. I just named it junk because I'm going to be deleting it later. But it will also show you things that you've studied recently or any classes you may belong to. So the way this is organized is that someone can create a class that you can join, or you can create your own class or your own set of activities. Third link brings you to settings, and these are basic settings similar to what you'd see in most websites. There's a profile picture option, an account type, whether you're a student or a teacher, the language that you're working in, various options to hook up with social media, to change your email address, password, username, privacy settings, etc. So these are, as I said, these are settings that pretty much follow the normal pattern of what you would expect to find in a website. Okay, let's get to the meat of it. First of all, you can create classes. So right now I have this test class. If I wanted to create an additional class, I'd simply click that button. I can name it. Give a brief description. And then you have the option to allow students to add study sets to this class or to add new members to the class. So if you'd like greater control over that, you're going to uncheck that box. But if you'd like to leave it a little more open, you check it. And as I said, this is something that students may be using independently. So these are settings that they may be making themselves. Now your school, when you originally register for the program, it is going to ask you to give a school. You can add an additional school if you want here. This helps users identify your class when they're looking for study sets. Okay, so the class has been created. You can see I now have 2. The first one has an existing study set and the second does not. I am the only member of either class, but if I click where it says members, you'll see that you will get a URL. So if you have created a study set, something for your students to use, you can simply share this link with them, and then because they will need an account to use this, so probably a little more appropriate for either slightly older students or at least something done with parental permission at a lower level. So by sharing this link, students would join your class. Again, this does not have to be something that the teacher controls. This is something students can use on their own. Okay, there's also an option to create folders. This is just a way to organize information. If you do upgrade and use a paid version, you're allowed to upload things like images, etc. And the folders can come in very handy there. Okay, so let me go into my class here and see what options I have for adding a study set. So I can create a new study set. I'll need to give it a title. And then I have terms and definitions. Here's the option to add an image or to add a voice recording. These require you to upgrade. So something that most of you students will probably not do. So I'm going to put the term on the left. Okay, and you put the definition over the right. Now it's asking us to choose a language here, so I'm just going to choose that both the terms and definitions are in English. I'll pause the video for a moment and maybe fill out a couple of more term and definition combinations. Okay, you can see that I've added a few more terms and definitions, and now I can simply create my study set. It will give me the option to share it with others. I'm going to cancel out of that for right now. Or to access this link. Of course, I can access this later, but sending this link to someone will allow them to find the study set easily. Okay. Now you have a couple of options. You can sort them in alphabetical order or in the original order that you created them. And then you can view this information in a variety of ways. I can see it as flashcards. And you may have heard the audio in the background, so it will read it back to you.
An individual computer that accesses the information and programs stored on a server as part of a network environment.
Okay, so by clicking on it, you are going to go from term to definition. Using the arrows at the bottom, I can proceed to the next card in my stack. Okay, because I am the owner of this, I can come in and edit it at any time. I can star it and study it separately so that if it's something maybe I'm having difficulty with or want to give extra focus to, I can mark it that way. I can shuffle the order. Okay, and there are a variety of other ways to look at this information. So if I come back, try the second option, this is going to give me the term, and I'm going to need to type out the answer, so that's more difficult than the flashcard method. There's a spelling game where it's going to read me the word, and I'm going to have to type that out. So the term is listed here. It's going to tell me what the answer is and have me type it, so maybe a beginning level of study. It can create for me a test, and it will give it to me either in short answer, multiple choice, true or false, or actually it'll create a combination of those things randomly for me. There's a matching game. In the matching game, you simply drag the correct answer onto the correct term, and if you are correct, it will disappear. If you're incorrect, it will send it back for you to try again and keep a time for you. So one way is to race against the time to see if you're getting better. And there's also a gravity game. It'll give you some options. So I'm going to start with a definition, and you can start with either term definition or random, so you get one or the other. It's pretty hard to start with a term. That means you have to type out the entire definition correctly. So I guess it's a high-level challenge for you, but it's pretty picky. So I'm going to start with a definition. I'll make it nice and easy for myself, and I'll get started. And you can see that this is and you type it out. Okay, I'm going to press escape to skip out of the game and back to return to my choices. Okay, it's going to give me a summary of things that I've often missed, never missed, and not yet answered. So a nice little study guide for students to use in internalizing some base level information.